move some guys to secondary like Key and Mason. What are the challenges for guys when they move a position like that?
Well, obviously, anytime anybody changes a position, there's a steep learning curve to try to get caught up in all the different techniques and scheme things that they have to learn at that position. And so there's a period of time where they're certainly swimming in deep water.
For a guy like Key, what is the challenge for him going from where he was to?
Obviously you're playing in more space. You're usually getting matched up with some better athletes as far as having the ability to cover a guy who's now a wide receiver rather than a tight end. And then he's got to learn the different techniques and all the the scheme part of it from a whole new angle.
When you're talking to a guy about moving a position, are they generally receptive to that, or is it a case by case where some guys they don't want to do it?
It's a case by case. Generally, when you talk to a guy, the reason you're moving a guy is to try to get him on the field faster, or put him in a position where he can maybe contribute better to the football team. And most of the guys recognize it, and that hey, if I can get on the field faster, I can help the team that way. I'm willing to do it, and that's how it's been with all the guys this year. If this is what's going to help the football team, then I'm happy to do it.
Do you feel like the depth, what you're seeing in the secondary, is quite a bit better than it was a year ago?
Well, certainly, yeah. We only had 6 healthy bodies all of last spring ball. We could barely practice last year, so at least we're able to get through full practices without having to take coaching breaks just to give the secondary a chance to catch their breath. And so we still got some guys that are nicked up right now and not able to go full speed and stuff like that. It'll be great when we get everybody healthy, and then we add a few more freshmen coming in the fall.
What would you like to see Saturday? You're gonna have a little bit of a scrimmage. What would you like to see from your guys defensively? What are some of the
the big thing? We obviously want to try to see them being aggressive at the line of scrimmage and make some tackles for losses and tackle well. Will be the big things that we got to improve on. But we want to see us. Big thing of this focus all spring has been better run defense, and we want to execute that, and hopefully we can do that while not giving up any big plays.
Have you seen that? Have you seen some of that in terms of stepping up on the run?
Yeah, I think right now we're it looks like we're a better run defense team than we were in the fall, and so we still got a long ways to go, and it's a day by day process. But I definitely feel like we're making strides.
This is anecdotal, obviously, but I noticed there were several tip balls and you got some hands on some balls. Is that something you're seeing a little bit more aggressiveness and getting in the
it's the same thing we've coached in the past. We're just getting a little bit better at executing that technique along with a few other techniques, trying to be more ball disruptive.
Is there a young guy or two that you did the first time in the spring that just caught your eye?
Well, the guy Jordan Whitley, when he's been able to be out there, he certainly has been able to make a difference for us. Unfortunately, he's had some nagging injuries that kept him out all the time and stuff like that. And but most of the other guys are guys that were with us in the fall and stuff like that. So we do have a few guys. John McCarthy's made some nice steps. Omar Spites has done a nice job as far as learning the defense, and you see him flash out there. And when he reads it and recognizes it, he can really close down space in a hurry. And so those are two young guys that have really jumped out at me so far.
Okay. McCartan and Ella Aiden today, they've had pretty outstanding days defensively. What can you say about those two guys and their run defense?
Well, Alu's playing better for us, and I think he's kind of recognizing that this is my senior year. I only got one more chance at this, and we need him to play well. We need him to play at a really high level, and he's capable of doing that. And so we just got to get that from him on a consistent basis. And then John McCartan's made some really nice strides since the end of last season. He's been able to put on some weight and maintain the weight, and I feel like he just has a better grasp of the entire defense right now. And the more you understand mentally, the faster you can play physically because you're not thinking about it.
What about Shamar Smith, anchor in the middle? It seems he's done a good job kind of stepping up in that role.
Yeah, Shamar's done a nice job. I think the second half of the last year, he really started picking up his game, and I think he's continued to progress this spring. And just like a lot of the guys that are returning now in the second year in this defense, they're so much further ahead than they were a year ago at this time, and they're just trying to learn the vocabulary and learn what everything meant. And so we're definitely ahead of where we were a year ago at this time.
It seemed like the guys have put a lot of pressure on the quarterback recently. Has that been a point of emphasis throughout the spring?
Yeah, certainly we have to do a much better job than we did in the fall of getting to the quarterback and making it so he can't complete a clean throwing motion. That'll help our coverage and obviously hopefully increase our sacks by getting more guys to the quarterback. And so we just got to keep attacking the pocket and doing a good job at it, and hopefully that continues for us.
Can't let Jake run for touchdowns, though.
Can't let Luton run for a touchdown. That's embarrassing. Yeah. There was some debate whether or not Ham actually tagged his hip and had him with a sack and stuff like that. So we'll have to watch the tape and see.
That it?